Good morning, kindergarten, and happy Wednesday. Let's go ahead and start with a greeting. We're gonna do our lumberjack greeting. So whoever's around you right now, you can teach them the lumberjack greeting if you haven't done it with them yet. And you can go ahead and greet them with a good morning as you saw down a tree. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our calendar. Yesterday was April 28th, which means today is April 29th. Yesterday was our 151st day of school, which means today is our 152nd day of school. What day of the week was it yesterday? Yesterday was Tuesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. And today is Wednesday. So tomorrow will be Thursday. Awesome job. All right. Sounded like you guys had a great time on your Zoom religion calls with Mrs. Whalen. We have a Zoom call today at 1 if you would like to join us for some reading, and we have another foundations call tomorrow. We're going to do some foundations. So hopefully I can see you guys on some of those Zoom calls, and we have our class Zoom call again on Friday where we're going to be telling a joke or a riddle. All right, let's look at our morning message. Good morning, Kinder Crew. Today is Wednesday, April 29th, 2020. What number is missing? All right, let's fill in the missing numbers. Let's check it out. All right, we have 21, 22. What comes next? 23. Good job. And 24. All right. Next we have 67, 68, 69, 70. All right. Here we go. 17, 19, 20. What number is missing? 18. All right, let's look up here. Well, we're starting with a blank. Blank, 15, 16, 17. What number should be here? 15, 16, 17. 14, awesome. All right, we have 30, 32, 33, 31. And finally, 97, 98, 99, 100. You guys know that. Good job. Love Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Whalen. For your math review page for number 1, how many animals are in line? How many animals are in line? And choose the correct number. For number 2, which number tells how many pumpkins? Which number tells how many pumpkins? You can cross and count and choose the correct number for how many pumpkins there are. Mathematicians, for math today, we are going to be looking at yet another shape, and we are going to continue being shape detectives. You guys did a great job searching high, searching low for squares and rectangles, and today we're going to be searching for, what shape is this? Circles. We're going to be looking for circles. So a circle is round and it has no sides and no corners. So we're going to be looking for some circles in the classroom, and then you are going to be looking for some circles in your house. Looking at our classroom, do you see anything that is the shape of a circle? All right, if you want to keep looking, you can pause the video now and keep looking, but I'm going to point out a few things that I see that are the shape of circles. The first thing that I see is our globe. The globe is a circle. All right, the next thing that I see that's the shape of a circle are the voice level lights. Another thing that I see that is in the shape of a circle are the confetti letters on the We Are Learning board. Do you see anything else that is the shape of a circle? Great job, shape detectives. Readers, for reading today, we are going to continue talking about the fancy reading word that we learned yesterday, and that word was schema. And again, schema is all of our own experiences that help us to understand the books that we are reading. So yesterday we talked about schema in the book Pig and Pug, and we talked about making new friends. And today we're going to read the book Splat the Cat Sings Flat, and we're going to talk about our own experiences and make predictions based on those experiences and what we think is going to happen in this book. So this book is about Splat having stage fright and whether or not he overcomes his fears. So the schema that we are going to be thinking about is any time that we've had stage fright or had to overcome a fear. So I want you to think right now, has there been a time that you've ever been afraid to perform on stage, or maybe you had like a karate tournament or a sports game, or you were in a play. Anytime, maybe the Christmas program this year, you were a little nervous. So think about a time that you've had to perform something or be in a game or anything like that where maybe you felt a little nervous. Now that you've thought about that memory, we're going to make a prediction on what we think is going to happen in this book. So I'm going to think about an experience that I had, so my schema, based on having stage fright. And mine was, I was in a play when I was in the 4th grade, and I had to sing the song Amazing Grace all by myself in the middle of the stage, and they had a light shining on me. And I was really nervous. I didn't know if I could do it even that day. I was thinking maybe they should have somebody else do it, and I just remember that feeling in your stomach where you have those butterflies, and my hands were all sweaty, and I ended up going out and I sang the song. I overcame my fear, and you know what? The second I started singing, I felt so much better, and I could see that all of the people in the play with me were supporting me, and they were smiling at me, and that made me feel brave. And then when I was finished, I felt really proud of myself. So that was my experience, my schema about having stage fright. So now I'm gonna make a prediction that in this book, I think that Splat is going to overcome his fear of singing, and that he is going to maybe have some friends that help him overcome it by building him up and making him feel really confident. So that's my prediction. Maybe you have a different prediction based on your experience of being afraid of something. So let's go ahead and read this book. Splat the cat goes to cat school. Splat likes to take Seymour. Seymour is Splat's pet mouse. Seymour rides in Splat's hat. One morning, Splat's teacher had big news. She asked all the cats to sit on the big red mat. Seymour sat in Splat's hat. All of you will sing on Parents' Night, Mrs. Wimpy Dimple said. If your singing is loud, your parents will be proud. Will lots of parents be there? Asked Splat. Yes, all the parents, said Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. Gulp, said Splat. Splat's tail wiggled wildly. Splat was worried. Splat was shy. I can't sing, said Splat. Can you meow? Asked his teacher. I forget how to meow, said Splat. Can you hum? Asked his teacher. I even forget how to hum, said Splat. That's okay, Splat, said Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. I will help you sing. We will all help you sing. Mrs. Wimpy Dimple sang first. La la la, she sang. The cats on the mat began to sing, all except Splat. Now you try, Splat, said Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. Splat opened his mouth. Nothing came out. You can do it, Splat, said his teacher. Splat tried hard, but all that came out was a little squeak. Splat looked at Seymour. Seymour was brave. He was a mouse in a room full of cats. Splat could be brave too. Splat opened his mouth again. La, sang Splat. The note was loud, it was long, and it was very, very flat. The cats on the mat went wild. Splat was not trying to be funny, but he was funny anyway. Sing just like that, said Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. You will be the star with a mouse in his hat. Maybe, said Splat. Splat went home after school. What if I forget my part? Splat asked Mom and Dad. You won't forget, they said to Splat. Maybe I will forget, said Splat. Splat put Seymour on his head. Splat's tail wiggled and Seymour jiggled. Splat sang, la! The note still came out flat. Maybe I won't forget, said Splat. Soon it was parents' night. All the parents came to Splat's classroom. The class stood on the big red mat. Let's begin, said Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. The class started to sing, la la la, sang the cats, but Splat stayed quiet. He waited for his turn. Mrs. Wimpy Dimple gave Splat a nod. Splat was ready. Seymour jumped onto Splat's head. Seymour was ready too. Splat's tail wiggled wildly. Splat opened his mouth very wide. La, sang Splat, and the note was flat. It was very flat and very loud. He opened his mouth even wider. La, sang Splat. Then he opened his mouth as wide as it can go. La, sang Splat, and he fell off the mat. Splat. The class giggled, the parents laughed, and Splat laughed the loudest of all. You were the star, said Splat's mom. We are very proud of you, said Splat's dad. Splat was the cat's meow, said Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. Splat was happy. Guess what, said Splat? I didn't forget to sing flat. I forgot to be shy. Mom and Dad hugged Splat. We love our cat who sings flat. All right, so now I can think about my prediction that I made based on my schema, my experience. I made a prediction at the beginning of this story and I said that Splat was going to overcome his fear and sing with the help of his friends that might build him up and make him feel confident. And I was kind of right, his friends did. His friends were surrounding him, they were also singing. They did laugh at first, but other people that really built him up were his teacher, and then at the end his parents, and with the help of Seymour. So he had more than just his friends building him up. And he overcame his fear at the end and he felt a whole lot better. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to think about your schema around having stage fright. Have you ever had an experience like Splat? And you can either write it down or you can record yourself talking about your experience, your schema, based on having stage fright. And when you read more fiction books, you can do this before you read the book. You can preview it, and then you can think about, have I ever experienced something like this? And if you have, based on what you've gone through, what do you think is going to happen? for writing today, you are going to begin preparing your nonfiction research book so that we can start transferring our facts over to it next week. So you're gonna have 2 days to work on this next part, which is going to be writing all of the sections into your nonfiction book. So I showed you how to do this last week with my Panda book, but I'm gonna show you again how you are going to take your information and just start to prepare your book. You're not gonna write any of your facts yet. We're gonna start that next week. So the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to do your cover page. So your cover page, you'll go ahead and write your title, and then you'll write your name. I wrote all about pandas, and you can write a title based on what you are doing research on. And then your name goes down here. And we'll work on the picture later on. So you do not need to work on the picture now. Right now, we're just getting things written down. After you do your cover page, then you will do your table of contents. And remember, on your table of contents, you are going to be taking the numbers from the sections and you're going to be putting them next to the same number on your table of contents. So, number 1, what it looks like, you're going to write what it looks like. Number 2, what it eats. You're going to write what it eats. Number 3, where it lives. You're going to write where it lives. And number 4, other fun facts. You are going to write other fun facts. So again, you're taking the numbers on your graphic organizer, matching them with the page numbers, and you're just writing what the section is about. You're not writing any facts yet. No facts yet. Okay, so that's all I want you to work on for today. Then tomorrow, we're going to work on taking the table of contents information, and we're going to take those titles and we're going to write them on our pages so that we know what we're writing about on each page, okay? So for today, the only thing I want you to do is you are going to write your title and your name, and then you are going to write the topics for each section that match the pages. If you would like to, you can use a marker or a highlighter to mark each section a different color. If that helps you, I did that so that you could see when we go onto our pages. You don't need to do that, but if that helps you, you can do that. Just don't go over your words because I want to be able to see them. So if you are going to do it underneath like I did, okay? And make sure if you do it, you have to have 4 different colors. So again, all you're doing today is your cover page and your table of contents based on the topics on your graphic organizer. For social studies today, we are going to be learning about important presidents that we've had over the years. So, do you know who our president is now? Yep, Donald Trump is our current president, but we've had some really wonderful presidents. All of our presidents have done some great things for us, but we're going to talk about some specific presidents who have been really important to our country. The president should be kind and fair. They have to make important decisions and have to think very carefully. It is the president's job to do what is best for America. And this is Ronald Reagan, one of our past presidents. Every 4 years, we vote to elect a new president. The president lives in the White House. They work with other people in government to make laws. And remember, last time we talked about voting, so when you're 18, you can vote to elect a new president. The president meets with leaders from around the world and tries to make the world a better place to live in. On the 3rd Monday of February, we celebrate President's Day. This is a day to honor all of the presidents that have worked hard for the people. And remember, you guys had that day off of school, and we honored 2 presidents with our crafts. We made our George Washington and Abraham Lincoln crafts. On President's Day, we celebrate George Washington. He was the very first president of the United States of America. All our presidents have played an important part in our country's history. George Washington is especially important because he helped to lead our country to freedom. It was Washington's work that led us to being a free democracy today. And remember, democracy means that we have the right to vote for our leaders. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president. He led the country during the Civil War, where people in the country were fighting against one another. He also fought to free African American slaves. Franklin D. Roosevelt was the 32nd president. He helped our country during a very hard time called the Great Depression. Lots of people were struggling, and he created programs to help people. FDR, as he is known, also led America to victory in World War II. Barack Obama was the 44th president of the United States. He is an important president because he was the first African American to win the presidency. For over 100 years, all of our presidents had been white men. Barack Obama helped children of all races and nationalities know that they too can be president. The President of the United States has a very important job. He or she leads our country and makes lots of decisions to help all people. Maybe you will be president one day. The President of the that's the same one. And if you're president one day, hopefully you remember the little people like Mrs. Whalen and I. So for social studies, you are going to work on a worksheet that talks more about what you learned in this book. And have a great rest of your day. Bye, kindergarten.